say oi.
People love you here, man.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here. My first time.
Is it your first time here?
Yes, I'm no longer a Brazilian virgin.
How do you like it so far?
I like it. It's been crazy. We just arrived this morning and jumped right into this, and everyone's so incredibly nice, and the weather's great. So having a blast here at Comic-Con.
I wanted to know how'd you get involved with the project, because A Series of Unfortunate Events is a book series that has been beloved by fans throughout so many years, and then there was the movie that people loved as well, and now you're Count Olaf.
Yeah! Dudes, I cannot wait for you guys to see it, legitimately. It's one of these crazy things. Netflix comes up with these ideas, and what's fun about them is that they make the entire season before anyone sees it, right? So you don't do 3-4 episodes and then be told that you have to change things or regroup. You just make it creatively. And there was so much excitement for me about the project because I thought the books were amazing and dark and twisted and mysterious and yet clever and for kids but also for adults. And then Barry Sonnenfeld's in charge. He's our executive producer and our director, and he did Men in Black, and he's got a really good, interesting, dark sense of humor. So when I knew that those things could be put together, that they could give us a long time to tell each book and make it really effed up and twisted, and I could wear all the crazy prosthetics, I was in. I thought it would be a really fun thing.
And how is the adaptation? How do you do the books within the series?
So we're doing 2 episodes per book. So we did the first 4 books up through The Miserable Mill. And are you guys familiar with the books? They're worth reading again. I had never read the books when the project came my way. And so I read the first book right away, and it's a pretty fast read. But I think it's smart. It's not a book for kids, even though kids are the protagonists. And Lemony Snicket, who's the narrator, says very explicitly in the beginning of every book, if you're wanting to read a book that has some kind of happy ending or some kind of moral to the story, this is not the book for you. And that's true. I'm just pretty much an awful man throughout the entire series. Thank you. So, yeah, we've been hiding a bunch of stuff. So people who are fans of the book, there will be lots of Easter eggs and secret things and characters that may not have been in the book that may be involved in the show. And we do some musical numbers, which are kind of crazy. Yeah, good times.
I wanted to know about that.
We know you.
Everything about the promotion of the series is like, do not watch this. This is a bad show. It's a show about tragedies. How do you feel about that? Because you're practically saying to your audience, don't watch it, but they're gonna be so curious that they're gonna watch it.
I love that. That's the sense of humor of the show, because they said the exact same thing in the books. If you want to read this happy book, don't read this book. Please stop reading this book if you want it to be a good, pleasant, happy, chipper time. And so the same thing with the series. If you're looking for good, sweet, happy Disney comedy, this ain't that. But I think that makes people want to watch it even more. When things are dark and twisted and kind of fucked up, then you want to watch it, maybe.
And I wanted to know about the side of comedy and drama of the show. You have 2 very cute kids, and I wanted to know about that. Like, would you put your kids to watch that show, and would you watch with them?
Our kids are 6 years old, so they're probably a little young as far as the demographic is concerned. But since they've been on set, and I FaceTimed with them every day when they were in New York and I was in Vancouver, and I looked like Count Olaf while I was FaceTiming with them, which was very jarring. I will be paying for lots of therapy, I'm sure. But no, they laughed. They thought it was fun. They saw the first 2 episodes. We did a cast and crew screening of it while we were still filming. It didn't have a bunch of the visual effects, but they got a kick out of it. I think it's a good show that way. You can watch it if you're younger and still get the adventure of Klaus and Violet and the Baudelaires and all the large scale. And then if you're an adult or a Comic-Conner, you can watch it for the sort of clever insides. So it hopefully hits on 2 levels.
And how did you approach Count Olaf? Because he's a not weird, but like different character. Because you have to play him in different ways. Did you see the previous version? Did you do your own thing?
Yeah, I watched the movie and I thought it was funny. The movie was playing really for comedy, I thought. And I think the books are darker than that. So I was trying to be as really dark and evil as possible. But that being said, Olaf is a terrible actor who's convinced he's incredibly handsome, who's convinced he's wildly successful, and he fails at every turn. So I just kept trying to be evil and horrible and awful while the ridiculousness sort of happened around me. So that's kind of our take, is a much darker take. I wanted him to be mean. You remember Alan Rickman?
Yeah.
The actor?
Do we remember Alan Rickman?
So Rickman and Snape had really that great ability to be like incredibly still and still be terribly and horribly threatening and terrifying, even though he's only raising an eyebrow. Like that to me is as scary as I do a bit of both. There's a fair amount of
It's good to do a little bit of both.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And then I got to play different characters. So in book 2, Olaf's kicked out and comes back as Stefano, who you saw with the bald and the beard. And he's ridiculous, and it's amazing that no one knows he's Olaf. That's kind of a point in the books and in the movies, or in the series too, is that it's so obvious to the kids that these characters are Olaf, but the adults never see them, just because adults are so busy in their own world, and Mr. Poe is always coughing and saying, "Yes, children, quiet please, adults are talking." So Stefano, he talked like this the whole time. He was also these big glasses. It made me wear these glasses that were so effing thick, my eyeballs looked really gigantic inside of them. So I just stood there and I could not see where I was going anywhere. And so that's Stefano. And then there's Captain Sham, who I kind of wanted to be bad Sean Connery with a peg leg and wooden teeth. So I have extra wooden teeth on top of my other teeth, and an eye patch and mutton chops, and we're windblown, and everything he says, he just kind of talks like this. "Hello, Muffin. How are you, sweet pea? Josephine. Touch my loins and I'll throw you out a window." Apparently he's Scottish today. I don't know. And then the last one was Shirley. She's the receptionist in the Miserable Mill book to Dr. Orwell, who's female, and Catherine O'Hara plays her, and she's amazing from Waiting for Guffman and Best in Show. And she's a redhead, and I kind of wanted to do my best Christina Hendricks impression from Mad Men. It's like that, very curvy and very sort of Betty Davis, where everything she said was very fast and furious. It didn't really matter what she was saying, she just spoke really fast, see? And, but I feel like I'm doing bad radio playing. But what was fun about it is Olaf is supposed to be a bad actor, so I was playing Shirley, but I didn't want to play her well, so I kept wanting to make sure that it was bad. That was sort of what fucked with my head while I was doing it, because I wasn't sure how appropriately good I was supposed to be. Because if I'm just being bad Stefano as a bad actor, then it just makes me look like a bad actor. And if I'm doing Stefano really well, then it makes no sense because Olaf is a bad actor. So we worked hard on some of that. It should be fun. I hope we get to do more of these because there's a lot more characters that would be fun to try and
I think you might,
try and do.
People are gonna like.
You better watch.
Series. Yeah.
That was a brand new trailer, by the way. Hey, will you guys do something for me for my kids?
Yeah.
So I'm sending them videos of where I am because they don't know what's happening. So here's what I was gonna do. Yeah, in the middle of something. Hold on a second. So here's what I'm gonna do. So you guys be really, really quiet and keep the lights on, and then I'm just gonna say, hi, I'm here, and then I say, I've got some friends I wanna say, I wanna say hi to you, and then I'll turn the phone like this, and will you guys cheer and say hi to Gideon Harbor? Okay, so start really quiet. Keep the house lights on. Okay, cool. Hi guys, I miss you. Just want to say hello. Great day. I had an amazing day. Hey friends, say hi. Okay, cool, thanks. That was awesome. I like that.
They love doing that.
Yeah.
I wanted to know about that because we're talking about how you have to play the characters badly, but at the same time you don't want to. How do you play a character being a character?
It was weird, it was a little schizophrenic because I would...
Olaf talks down here like this, so everything that he said was kind of in this voice.
And then Stefano would be like this.
And then Olaf would be like that.
So it was kind of back and forth. The scenes dictated it. Because all of the characters' goal is to just get the kids and get them away from their guardian and murder them or capture them or something. So he would be very nice and the kind and the polite and then give murderous asides. But I don't know, they're well written. Daniel Handler, who wrote the books, had a real large part of the writing process for the series, so that made us all feel really comfortable that we were doing the right version of the stories.
And the aesthetic of the show is really pretty. I already saw the first episode and I think it's
crazy.
Amazing, and it's kind of like a mix of Wes Anderson and Tim Burton and crazy.
That's a good
like
call.
that.
Tim Burton meets Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
So Barry Sonnenfeld wanted the whole world to look like you saw. They wanted to be a very specific world in completion. So we filmed it all in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and everything was filmed in sound stages. The entire thing. When you see the briny beach with the beach and the trolley and the water, that was all built. The entire beach, train, track, trolley on a giant soundstage. Olaf's mansion, the driveway leading up to it, Justice Strauss's house across the street, all of that on one soundstage. Not little individual stages, but gigantic. Probably as big as this auditorium of these massive houses. And that was really exciting to film it because it wasn't